Hey guys, I hope you're all having a good day. Well, I know I am. I'm actually coming off a $5,500 day on a really dead week this week. So, ended up earlier in the week, kind of a slow moving market. It's really been ranging a lot. Trump tweeted last week pretty much China should find another country to mess with. That's a pretty serious tweet. So it ended up causing the market to be in this weird choppiness. And so all week I've kind of been coming off this and just trying to, to use light size, not trying to size in any positions, really just trying to, play the range of the market, stay active. But realistically, I couldn't get anything past a $200 day all week. But stayed patient, didn't take more than a $100 loss. Ended up today seeing an opportunity come up on Burlington Coat Factory. BURL is the ticker. Saw plenty of opportunity in the market today. The markets were running. So there was some ease early in the morning from China saying that they wanted trade tensions to halt. They really wanted to get this resolved. Really kind of eased out the market. Saw the SPY jumping up in the morning along with all the stocks. Market stocks were flying in the morning. So was able to come into today with a mindset of, you know what? I think I should capitalize today. Tomorrow is a Friday, and Wall Street on Fridays are usually a little dead, a little odd, especially before Labor Day weekend. Labor Day weekend is off for traders, and it's a mentality for most of Wall Street. In New York, it's probably the last weekend they can go down the shore and enjoy. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of traders who are not at their desk. This is tomorrow, Friday. So today was a day I thought, I wonder if everybody's just looking to capitalize on this momentum today. There's probably going to be some momentum behind my trading, and that's what I did. So I sized into BURL, but I actually only sized in utilizing a $2,500 position size to what I thought. Turns out BURL was up so much in the morning, I had to step it up a little bit to a $4,400 position size. But 3 minutes later, I was able to step out of that position with over 100% gain, and it added up to $5,100. As well as I had target calls from the night before. I had an idea, and I discussed it with the chat room, that Target was going to have some momentum to the upside on a psychological number 110. I had a feeling it was going to be this week too, just based off of what these stocks have been doing when they're up on earnings. There's been a lot of continuation when earnings are good. So I took a small position, $200, because I knew that if I was wrong and Target went down, these calls might even go down to zero or potentially $100 at the best. So I said $200 is what I'm willing to risk, but if I'm right, I know that I could amplify this gain by a few 100%. Well, the call went all the way to 300% gains. I wasn't able to exit in time because I was so focused on BURL. I ended up getting out of the trade with 210% gains. Well, guys, that's a 200% gain on Target on an overnight trade. That really doesn't suck. All right, guys, so what we have here is a little picture of BURL. This is my Thinkorswim platform, which is what I use to trade. For those of you that don't know me, I utilize multiple time frames for charting and creating ideas to trade, but to actually trade, I scalp. I also scalp and I ride momentum. So I'm a scalper and a momentum trader. At heart, I do have multiple other strategies in my playbook, but this is pretty much what I do. So what we're looking at here is a 1 minute chart. So in this 1 minute chart, I want to go over a little bit about how I came up with this play, how I created a plan, as well as how I executed it. So found this pre-market. Earnings beat was pretty good. This is a play up on earnings here. Charted this up on the daily, and as you can see, this thing gapped up way above all my resistance lines. To the point where this actually didn't just break a 52-week high, this broke an all-time high. After it broke the all-time high, this thing continued up, creating new highs pre-market. This is something that I look for in a trade, especially after earnings. I look for new highs after the actual results have been posted, and especially after the conference call. This indicates to me that everything on earnings has checked out and has looked good, as well as everything on the call has sounded good to investors, and there's still a continuation of buying going through. So not only did we have multiple highs pre-market, but we had a lot of multiple highs pre-market. We also had the tape. So right now I don't actually have the tape printing, but while I was planning the trade and making the trade, this tape was looking great. It indicated lots of people trying to get their hands on shares. Now that could have been shorts buying back their shares here as well, because this did have a little bit of a short float on it. And I did see that they didn't have an opportunity to be able to exit. So this all came to me in this plan, as well as this beat on earnings. They beat on both EPS and sales, and they kind of knocked it out of the water. This is Burlington. Used to be Burlington Coat Factory, I'm pretty sure. I actually love this store. Do lots of shopping there myself. You get lots of good brand names for cheap. So I guess I had an emotional attachment a little bit to this trade. But coming into the end of the pre-market, almost to the market open, lots of buying going on. Lots and lots of buying going on. Reading the tape into the open, as soon as we do open, we held. This held here is what I was looking for, and I can't actually show you right now the tape and how that looked, but this was getting bought up. So immediately I went long. I went long on calls because what I do is I actually utilize options to trade these equities. So that kind of amplifies my my margins a bit. So I traded option calls. Okay, I bought 195 calls on this right at the open. Rode momentum up for 3 minutes. Huge move, not something that you see every day, but all I did was follow price action, follow volume, and follow my plan. My plan was psychological number 200. That's kind of what I thought early this morning here after we kept breaking this resistance mark and kind of getting scooped up here. Lots of buying going on. I had a feeling that after we broke this marker here, our next step wasn't going to be just 195 on a day like this. It was going to be more like a psychological number 200, which is pretty much where VWAP landed for the majority of the day. So that was my plan, to exit out on 200, but as you can see, these are 1 minute candles. Lots of reasons to continue to hold this play up to, a little over 200, especially since we broke it here. Almost by $2, and then just literally 60 seconds later, we're up all the way to 204.64. Now, I sold this in 3 minutes, guys. Not that I sell peaks and I understand exactly where they are, but I rode momentum up and I watched the tape closely. And from what I seen a little bit of exhaustion coming into the tape, and that's when I decided to take my exit. Now, I'm going to switch over here and show you guys my trade fills so you can see when they were executed at 9:30 and 19 seconds into the open. So it took me 19 seconds to see this hold and have enough confidence to be able to take this play that this was going to be going up on the open. And it did. I was going to take a stop here below 192.66. If we ended up coming down, I was looking to take a stop here if we didn't hold. Otherwise, I was going to ride momentum to the 200, and I actually rode it a little bit further. So got a little bit more out of this play than I thought. Great risk reward. Ended up with a little bit over 100%. You guys could see here by my trade fill. Now, this wasn't the only play that I made today, so I want to go over that with you guys. There was an additional play that I made here today, which was in the target group. This was an overnight swing play. So I actually missed the majority of this momentum on target. It kind of snuck past me yesterday. And towards the end of the day, one of my students in the chat room has actually alerted this target here and all this momentum, and actually questioned me if we should take calls overnight. So I ended up looking into this, and what you could see is that target, if you look here closely on the 20-day chart, target is up huge on earnings. And even after the market had opened, large continuation here from at least 2 days. The retracement back on this was actually not all that much. And what you could see, as it did retrace back, it quickly got scooped up. So lots of buyers stepping in, holding this price up in here. It kind of went off my watch list because not much moves going on with it. Slipped by me over here in the morning because we were trading BYND or one of the other tickers. But towards the end of the day, I took calls with a psychological number 110. That was my profit target on that. I had a feeling that, after seeing this and seeing this get scooped up over here, this didn't really have much of an opportunity to break the high. So if you see here, this is the high, and this is an all-time high, by the way. It didn't really have much of an opportunity to break it. And typically when you're going to see something attempt an all-time high like that, you're going to see some push-up, a little bit higher than it, at least a couple of points or so. And then what I'd be looking for a double top would be a long wick over here or some type of, sell-off coming into this break. And you didn't really see that. So that's what gave me the indication to take a small position calls overnight for a potential run-up the next day or the day after. It didn't take long. These 110 calls more than tripled overnight. Now, by the time I can get my trade fill, because I was so focused on BURL, I actually wasn't able to capitalize on the 300% gain. I was able to get 200% out of it. But overall, great trade, 2 great trades today. Cut the day out by 9:35 in the morning. I was literally done for the day. No reason to continue when you're up that much on the day. One of my rules is to kind of chill back, accept that gain, own that gain, and move on to the next day. So I hope you guys enjoyed my analysis of how my day went today. Today was a $5,500 day. Make sure you guys subscribe. Press that subscribe button because I'm going to be putting out lots of content consistently for you. As well as you could visit my website, TommyTheBull.com. And you could sign up for the chat room where you could trade live with me every day. And we can make these kinds of trades together. Or you could also sign up for my class. Come meet me. Take my online class as well. Come learn from me. It includes a lifetime membership in the chat room. So I look forward to meeting you. Press that like button and subscribe.